now welcome in a four-time NBA champion, talk show host, and actor whose new movie, Sneakerella, is now available on Disney+. My brother, the one and only John Salley. Welcome to Stephen A's World Big Time. How you doing?
I love how many shows you have.
There you go with your nonsense. Listen. Look, I ain't in movies though. I don't have my own show. Talk to me about Sneakerella. What prompted this? How did this come about?
I literally, when they had me audition, I didn't want anybody to know, and they talked about a sneakerhead, and they talked about an ex-ball player owning his own sneaker brand, which I did in 1990. So I literally decided this is going to be like my movie. And I said to everybody once I came home, it was a really good movie. And everybody's finding out. You got to check it out.
What when you think about this yourself, just viewing yourself and what you have done in your career, speak about how important acting has been to you, how important your association to Hollywood has been to you. This is something that you've always envisioned for many, many years.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actor since I was a young boy, and I wanted to be a rapper. And my brother said to me, there are no 7-foot rappers. And once you play, you should be able to do whatever you want. You know, I was a big fan of O.J. Simpson, The Hammer, Kareem, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to do dramas, and I really wanted to do a musical. So my blessing came where I got to do a musical. The first time I got to perform on stage as rapping, and I'm glad they didn't get the singing part in there, but I wanted to do it. And I always thought when you get to Hollywood, you got to be a triple threat. You got to be able to sing, dance, and act. So I at least got 2 of them.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I don't know which 2 you talking about. I don't know about the singing and dancing, but I know you can act. Disney's a happy place. Disney's Mickey Mouse. And when you talk about you having a show on Disney Plus, John Salley, I think it's safe to say, no shade whatsoever, but John Salley, when you think John Salley, you don't think Disney. You don't think Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? So how does it feel to be? How does it feel to be a part of Mickey Mouse? How does it feel to be a part of Disney?
I love when I first came to Hollywood in 1996 after winning the championship with the Bulls. That summer, I shot my pilot for Buena Vista, and I got pretty far. And then there was a massive shakeup, and they decided to go with the Magic Johnson show. And I was 32, so I was pissed, depressed, already depressed from not playing basketball. But I just put my head down and went to acting classes with Ivana Chubbuck on Wednesday nights for 3 hours. And to me, it was like practice. You just constantly go to practice. And I've been putting that time in for 16 years to get to the point where I can do a Disney movie. And God willing, more Disney movies and more movies to follow.
Well, I got a little secret for you. You will be doing more in the future, but we'll get into that another time. Yeah. Let's transition to these NBA Finals, man. Right now it's tied 1-1, Golden State and the Boston Celtics. What have you seen transpiring thus far in the NBA Finals, and who are you favoring as this series progresses?
I'm always going with the underdog. I'm a huge Draymond fan, and Steve Kerr, ex-teammate, love what he's doing. I'm a big Steph fan. I'm a big fan of the Warriors, but I've grown up being a fan of the Celtics. And
my Lord.
when I watched them the first game, I realized they were playing with nothing to lose, and that's a dangerous person to play. When somebody has nothing to lose and they're just having fun, that's a dangerous combination. But one thing that they didn't realize, or they don't know how to do, and I think a lot of teams don't, they need to pay attention to NASCAR. They need to pay attention to Formula One. When you have this many cars on the track, each car is taken care of before they get onto the track. And just going, hey, drink some Gatorade and put your feet in ice, that's not good enough. You see what that did to Larry Bird's body and Kobe's body. You literally, at the end of the game, have to dismantle that high octane car. So those guys should be getting massages. They should be getting IVs. They should watch what they eat. They shouldn't be allowed to go out. There's no reason to go to a nice restaurant during the finals. I understand it was Hartford's birthday, but after that win, they were acting like they won the championship, and somebody forgot to tell them it's a 7-game series. So why you go from 26-2 is, one, you don't hang out. When it comes to tickets and all that, that's somebody else's problem. Right now, I don't have a haircut. I don't even remember getting a haircut during the finals. There's nothing you should think about except going back, watching the film again on what the person you have to guard and what their calls are. It got to a point when we were on Detroit, we won the championship with one play because we realized they couldn't stop that one play. So there was no reason to run other plays.
Right.
And every second, you got to remember every second. So you have to do your job. You have to stay focused. And it was a trip because I listened to you the other night. And you were right. Like Klay Thompson, them keeping them out there just to get some reps, that was great. But I think when the Warriors switched up their rotation, when Poole all of a sudden had to give up 12 minutes, that cost them the first game. So you have to stay with your 8 or 7, and the other 7 guys have to just be ready to come in the game.
Right. Let me transition to Draymond Green for a quick second. You know, Draymond grew up in Saginaw, Michigan, and played at Michigan State under Tom Izzo. So you know how you think you would have a fit with with a bad boy. I mean, think about it. You remember the bad boys. You got that attitude. You know how you know how he rolls. How wise is it for him to be as demonstrative as he was in Game 2? I know his performance against the Boston Celtics, it worked for them. I'm talking about specifically his communication to the officials and then about the officials afterwards. How wise is that?
I don't think it's wise ever to speak about an official. That's to me, they're more sensitive than a young player. So when you talk about the officials read the paper, the officials have children, the officials listen to you and other sportscasters, and they watch the game and they go, hey, we're not going to put up with that.
Well, hold on, John.
We can eliminate that feeling.
Hold on, John. He's not talking about them like insulting them or anything. He's saying, listen, I'm Draymond. It's the finals. I know I'm not getting ejected. He's saying that kind of stuff, which I think also is hazardous for him. To that you say what?
It's hazardous because he has to put it in their mind, not that he's Draymond, but this is the finals. They're not there to watch the referees ref. They're there to watch the stars
I agree.
play.
But is it wise for him to say that?
He's letting them know that. Well, I tell you this. Him putting it out there, if the referees seem to pick on him and not everyone else, they now put them on the spot. So they're on the spot. They're very much paying attention to the game, which will help him. And the reason it will help him is because now they're not thinking about what they think about. He has everybody on his track. Let me tell you, I played with a guy named Bill Lambier, and Bill used to say, put all the pressure on my back when it comes to the smack talking and the referees and everything, and you guys just play. And that's the mentality that all they have to do is play. He'll get into the head of the referees and to the head of the other players he's going against, because they're sitting around going, oh, I'm going to get him. I'm going to go at him. You can't think about Draymond. You just can't.
So with that being said, who do you got? Go to State of Boston. And move a little bit over to your right. Move a little over to your right. Who do you got? There you go.
I got Boston in 6.
Still.
I got Boston in 6.
Still, with everything that you just finished saying about they're young, they don't know any better, you don't need to be going out, you don't need to be getting any haircuts, you got to watch what you eat, take care of your body, and you still got them in 6?
Yeah, because I remember when they get back to Boston, even though they play better on the road, it's this thing about Boston in June. I still have nightmares about Boston in June.
Wow.
And when you're there, I'm telling you, they were so, I hope they had the same fans that they had when they played against us. Every hour we were there, the fire alarm in the hotel went off. There was no sleeping for 12 hours. Like, I hope they got those kind of fans. I don't think that was nice, but it works. So it's going to be tough Because those guys are going to get to Boston and go, where are we going to eat? Well, you're not going to be welcome to eat anywhere in Boston. So
Stay in
if they're
Connecticut.
not bringing a chef,
Stay an hour away in
but then
Connecticut and drive to the game.
too far of a drive. Too far of a drive.
Wow. All right. Be sure to watch Sneakerella, which is now available on Disney Plus. My brother, John Salley, congratulations on everything that you're doing, man. Continued success. We'll talk soon.